Let's take a look at some of the questions on homework 7.3. So I'm actually going to skip down to question 5, where we start having to find missing angle measures. So let's take a look at number 5. I'm trying to find the measure of angle X. So let's see what I'm given. I know that this angle here is 180 degrees. And I know that all the way around, if I were to complete this circle, it would have to be 360 degrees. So I know that this angle here is also 180 degrees. I can also tell that because this makes up a straight line. So 35 plus x has to be 180 degrees. So if I do 180 minus 35, that will give me the value of x. So 180 minus 35 is 145 degrees. So x is 145. All right, let's take a look at number 6. So again, I'm trying to find that missing angle. Let's look at what I'm given. So I know this angle is 180, and this angle here is 90. I know that all the way around the circle has to be 360 degrees. So this missing part of the circle here has to be 90, because I would have to have 180 plus 90 plus 90 to get up to 360 degrees. So this angle that I've drawn in blue is made up of 25 degrees and x, and it has to sum up to 90. So I'm going to do 90 minus 25 to figure out what x is equal to. 90 minus 25 is 65. So x is equal to 65 degrees. Okay, question number 7. Again, finding the missing angle, and let's see what I'm given. So I notice here that I have a straight line. I know straight lines have an angle of 180 degrees. So that means that this whole angle here has to be 180. Well, right now that whole angle is made up of 100, x, and 20. So 100 plus x plus 20 has to equal 180. Well, I can combine like terms here. 120 plus x has to equal 180, and I can just subtract 120 from both sides to find out that x is equal to 60 degrees. And again, another way to think about it is just 180 minus 100 minus 20, because we knew we wanted to get rid of these two angles to see what's left. What is x? Okay. Again, finding a missing angle on number 8. Let's see what I'm given. So here I have a straight line. Straight lines have an angle measure of 180 degrees. So that means that this whole angle has to be 180. Well, right now I know that of this whole angle, I have 60 degrees, 80 degrees, and then x is missing. So if I take 180 and I subtract this 80-degree angle and then subtract this 60-degree angle, I'll be left with x. So 180 minus 80 minus 60 is 40 degrees. So x, this missing angle, has to be 40 degrees. And I can double check that. 40 plus 80 plus 60 gives me the 180-degree angle that I'm looking for, that straight line. Okay, again, finding a missing angle. So right away, I noticed that I have, so let me draw it, there we go, these two intersecting lines that are crossing. Based on what we learned in class, we know that when we have two lines that cross, their opposite angles are vertical angles. So this 30-degree angle and this angle here are vertical angles. Vertical angles are congruent. So this also has to be 30 degrees. And I can see that X and this 30-degree angle make a right angle. So they're complementary and they have to add up to 90. So X plus 30 has to equal 90. So I can just do 90 minus 30, which equals 60 to find X. So X has to be 60 degrees. Okay, and our last one. Two lines intersect. Find the value of B and C. So we know that when two lines intersect, their opposite angles are congruent. They're vertical angles. So I see this 42-degree angle here is opposite of angle B. So angle B also has to be 42 degrees. Okay, but now what about angle C? It's not telling me what the measure of the vertical angle to angle C is, but I can figure it out. So let's think about what we know. We know that all four of these angles have to have a sum of 360 degrees. Well, I know that angle B is 42 degrees and the angle opposite of angle B is also 42 degrees. So I'm going to subtract that away from the total of 360. So I'm going to do 360 minus 42 and then also minus 42 again to get rid of angle B. And I'm left with 276 degrees. Well, 276 degrees has to be the sum of angle C and our question mark angle that we have. We know that angle C and the question mark angle have to be congruent because they're vertical angles. They're opposite from each other when two lines intersect. So if they have to be equal to each other, I'm just going to divide 276 by 2. I'm going to do it down here. 276 divided by 2. And I get 138 degrees. That means that angle C has to be 138 degrees, and that question mark angle is 138 degrees. Okay, so let's kind of break this down and go through it again to make sure that it works. So I have lines intersecting, so opposite angles are congruent. So I know angle B has to be 42 degrees. And if angle C is 138 degrees, then the angle opposite of angle C has to be 138 degrees. And all four angles have to sum to 360. So let's see if that works. In my calculator, I'm going to do 42 plus 138 plus 42 plus 138, and I get 360 degrees. So I know that it works. Another way you could have thought about it is if angle B is 42 degrees, it makes a straight line right here and is supplementary with angle C. So angle C and 42 degrees have to add up to 180. 180 minus 42 gives us that 138 degrees for angle C.